And now that kind of brings us on to our next topic that we're going to be debuting for you. And it's kind of different to the other ones because it's not a player. It's not an award. It's a sort of player deep dive that we're calling Scout Network.
Chalobah. Crowd desperate for him to shoot. Oh, a beauty! A moment to remember for Trevoh Chalobah.
Look what it means to the young man. He has had a dream Premier League debut. He really has.
And Scout Network is basically we're going to be doing a deep dive into a player of our choice. Maybe you guys can leave a suggestion over on our social media. Again, to get involved, go over to our social media pages. The links will be in the description of these podcasts. And also you can go at Pundits Average on Twitter and The Average Pundits on Instagram, and also The Average Pundits on our Facebook. So, Joe, I will hand over to you to introduce the first player that we're going to talk about here on Scout Network.
Thank you very much, Reese. And yes, there was a lot of interesting options that I feel like we could have gone for. But my personal choice and your choice as well, after our little conversation, I think we kind of both came to this conclusion. We've gone for Chelsea's young Trevoh Chalobah, 22 years of age, scoring on his first start in the Premier League for Chelsea, and what a way to score as well. And right after he scored that goal, you could see he was absolutely overcome with emotion. Then after the game, we saw, he paid a touching tribute. You could see how much that goal meant to him, realistically. And I feel like Chelsea had been one of these sides which in the past have been so heavily criticised for their treatment of youth players. And definitely in the past few years, they have come leaps and bounds in terms of the young players you've seen come through. We've seen players like, Mason Mount. We've seen players like Tomori. We've seen, obviously, now players like Chalobah and other players all over the pitch getting options. And, they're signing young as well, which is also a good sign for Chelsea. They're planning ahead for the future. They're planning for growth. But yeah, so anyway, Chalobah, so 22 years of age and scoring on his first professional start in the Premier League for Chelsea. Realistically, this is a guy which, a few people may have poked their heads around and may have known a little bit about before. But, he was born on the 5th of July, 1999. He's so young, 22 years of age. And he's doing his thing at Chelsea, and he's been at Chelsea since around 2018, professionally, coming through the youth academy. But he's had loans out to Ipswich Town and also Huddersfield. So he's had a bit of experience to his name, but now's the time to really kind of show the world what he can do. He tends to occupy the centre back and defensive midfield positions, so he's versatile as well. And you may recall his brother, Nathaniel Chalobah, as well, who plays for Watford, another person who came through the Chelsea system. Another guy, it's been quite a while since he played for Chelsea now, but, a talented footballing family nonetheless. But yeah, so this is a guy which we saw his first Premier League start on this weekend, but I feel like we're going to be seeing him an awful lot more. I feel like Thomas Tuchel has come in and he's put in a lot of faith and a lot of interest in a lot of young players in and around Chelsea. I think seeing somebody so young of defensive caliber that came through the academy is a really kind of promising thing, especially with the loss of Fikayo Tomori, which I feel like was a bit of I personally wouldn't have chosen to get rid of him. I feel like he's a very good defender, but this shows they've got other irons in the fire. So welcome to the Premier League, Chalobah, and I feel like he's going to have a very long and successful Chelsea career. Don't know about you, Reese.
I mean, I don't think I can add much to that of what you said there, other than kind of repeat what you've said. He's going to be a star for the future. Is what we can call him. He's going to be on the radar of many clubs, but I think it would be very bizarre for Chelsea to let him go. Chelsea have been one of those teams that like to loan a lot of players out, and I feel like Thomas Tuchel is going to be one of those coaches that has faith in the youth, as you say. So I think that with Tuchel, I think he's going to give a lot of game time to these young players, a lot of he's going to have a lot of faith in these young players. And starting with Chalobah, the goal was superb. And as I mentioned earlier, with the goal of the week, Chalobah's name I instantly thought of there because of how good the goal was, but also the emotional ties with it. It's his first Premier League sort of game, and obviously the tribute to his mother as well, which was very touching. But a fantastic player in the making. We are yet to see the full product of this young man, and it's crazy that he's younger than me. It's absolutely bizarre. The football players are younger than me. I'm getting too old for this, Joe.
It gets more heartbreaking year in, year out, mate. You've seen younger players come up, and it's just an absolute nightmare.